Have you ever felt like, suddenly, everything around you lost its sparkle? Like the joy that once seemed to flow so naturally was replaced by an emptiness, a sense of disconnection? It's as if the world turned into a distant place, wrapped in shades of gray. That spontaneous excitement from childhood, the one that appeared when noticing the simplest things, now feels like a distant memory, almost unrecognizable. As time goes on, the complexity of adult life consumes us. We follow a fast-paced rhythm, where days blur together, and happiness seems to get lost in the fog of routine. Pressures, responsibilities, and endless small obligations pull us further from what once brought true satisfaction. With each frustration, each disappointment, it feels like something inside us shrinks, closing off to what might still inspire or enchant. Without realizing it, we end up living on autopilot, checking off tasks, moving from one commitment to another but without truly feeling. Until, at some point, we catch ourselves asking, where did that joy go? That purpose that once illuminated our days? Why does everything seem so superficial, so far from what once truly touched us? It's like watching life through a foggy window, unable to reach the emotions we know are on the other side. In this state, we realize that, although we're fulfilling our roles, trying to meet expectations, something essential is missing. A silent absence, a longing for something we can hardly name. It feels like life stopped being a journey of discoveries and wonders and became just a series of obligations. But this doesn't have to be the end. That emptiness, that apathy, is an invitation. A call to reconnect with what truly makes your heart beat. Perhaps you've drifted away from who you truly are, from what genuinely moves you. But there is a way back, and it starts with a sincere and attentive look inward. Remember that time when everything felt magical. When every detail held a promise of adventure, and the world was a living mystery. Think of the child you were, with curious eyes and a deep desire to explore. For that version of you, life was a vibrant, almost sacred experience. There were no to-do lists, just the wish to feel deeply. But as we grow, we learn to protect ourselves. Every loss, every disappointment, leads us to build walls. Without noticing, we close off not only the pain but also the genuine joy. Colors, dreams, and questions end up locked away in a forgotten corner of our memory. And in this process, the child we once were begins to hide. Maybe now is the time to seek them out. To rescue that enchanted gaze and bring back the colors and meanings that routine tried to erase. After all, there is still time to rediscover life and feel fully all it has to offer. Have you ever gone through moments when most of the time, you simply observe in silence, without feeling like you're part of what's happening around you? How many times in life do we become so focused on reaching goals, so consumed by the pursuit of achievements and possessions, that we forget the simple joy of just being? Being who we truly are, with our unique tastes and authentic aspirations. By ignoring our inner child, we set aside an essential part of ourselves. The part that knew how to find beauty in the present, that was enchanted by the sound of the rain, the feeling of walking barefoot on the grass, or just the fact of being alive. Perhaps this is why we often feel empty. When we silence this part of ourselves, we abandon a vital source of joy and energy, essential to our existence. The child we once were knew that true happiness isn't found in great achievements but in simple moments of connection and genuine curiosity. It was curiosity, that spark in our eyes, that made us live fully. When the world seemed to lose its colors, it only took the perspective of a child's mind to transform everything into something vibrant again. Today, I want to invite you to rediscover that part of you that still lives, that is still waiting to be heard. Maybe you think it's too late, that the responsibilities of adult life leave no room for such freedom. But what if I told you that this child was never lost? She's still there, waiting for you to remember her, waiting for you to look at the world with the enthusiasm of someone who still believes in limitless dreams. It is in this reconnection with our purest and most spontaneous essence that the opportunity to rediscover joy resides. Returning to curiosity and enthusiasm for life requires courage. It's a step beyond the masks we wear, beyond the expectations others place on us. Even if it seems small, this step is a powerful key capable of reopening the doors to magic, vitality, and the depth of a life fully lived in all its nuances. As we go through life, we inevitably collect wounds. These are invisible marks left by disappointments, losses, and misalignments. Each of us carries these scars which shape the way we see the world. With each painful experience, it's as if another veil is placed over our sight, obscuring the light and enthusiasm that once shone within us. These wounds, even if hidden, carry weight. They make us more cautious, more closed off, and sometimes prevent us from experiencing true joy again. We live on alert, fearing new pains, and in this state, our dreams seem farther away, and the flame that once illuminated our path begins to fade slowly. Maybe you recognize yourself in this. Maybe you feel that your life has been a series of days just focused on avoiding pain. But living this way turns us into spectators of our own story. We watch from afar, protected by layers of defense, but without truly allowing ourselves to live each moment. What was once a journey full of adventures becomes a monotonous crossing, where the colors fade and meaning dissolves. The challenge lies in looking at these wounds with new eyes, understanding them not as something to ignore but as part of our story. They hold lessons, hidden strengths, and connect us with the essence of who we are. When we stop to listen to them, something inside us begins to change. Pain, no matter how intense, can become a bridge to our hearts, a gateway to our vulnerability and authenticity. It is in this space of sincerity that we find healing. Instead of fleeing from the pain, we can see it as a guide, a reminder of what truly matters, of what makes us feel alive. By facing our disappointments, we uncover what lies beneath the layers of protection. Perhaps, deep down, pain is a portal, an invitation to reconnect with what is true and essential. Accepting our wounds leads us to something even greater, the search for a purpose that is genuine. When we return to what truly moves us, we realize that the meaning of our lives is not defined by others. It arises from what inspires us, from what makes us vibrate, and from the courage to live each day as an opportunity to discover something new within ourselves. Life, with its many nuances, often leads us to a state of quiet contemplation. It feels as though something within us is watching from afar, waiting to be called back to actively participate in the journey. How many times do we find ourselves so immersed in achieving ideals and goals that we forget the essence of simply existing? We lose touch with what truly defines us, with the small pleasures that make each moment unique. When we neglect this essential part of ourselves, we also push away genuine joy, the kind that resides in life's simplest details. We forget the sound of rain, the sensation of the wind on our face, the gentle touch of grass beneath our feet. This disconnection can create a void, an absence we can't quite fill, because by silencing our essence, we lose a vital source of vitality and happiness. Within us still lives that more authentic and curious version of ourselves, the one who knew how to appreciate the present. This part understood that happiness isn't found in grand achievements, but in moments of true connection with what makes us feel alive. As we grow, we accumulate layers of protection against pain, but also against joy. Unknowingly, we lock away our dreams and vibrant emotions in the back of a drawer, where they remain forgotten. This void that emerges is not the end, but an invitation to look inward and listen to what our essence has to say. This quest for reconnection requires courage, for it asks us to deconstruct ideas and patterns that no longer serve us. It is a process of discovering what truly matters, beyond external expectations and the pressures we carry. Deep down, we all seek something that gives life meaning. This purpose is not defined by others or by the outside world. It is unique to each of us. It appears like a quiet flame, burning in the heart, guiding us even when everything seems uncertain. Finding this inner truth requires attention and sensitivity, as it reveals itself in moments of stillness, when we allow ourselves to pause and simply be. Acknowledging our wounds and struggles is also part of this journey. They shape us and teach us, revealing strengths we often didn't know we had. Instead of ignoring them, we can use them as bridges to reconnect with what is real and essential within ourselves. These marks are not just reminders of pain, but also proof of resilience and courage. When we finally discover our purpose, something within us transforms. Life begins to take on new meaning, and even the most routine tasks become expressions of our truth. Joy becomes a constant presence, not because everything is perfect, but because we are aligned with what truly matters. True fulfillment doesn't come from external achievements, but from living in harmony with our essence. It is in the simplest details that true fulfillment lies. The morning sunlight, the laughter of a child, the sound of nature around us. These small moments have the power to bring us back to the present and remind us of the beauty that has always been there. Stopping, observing, and simply existing is a powerful act that can reconnect us with inner peace. In the end, living fully isn't about achieving grand goals. It's about embracing life in all its forms. It's about rediscovering the extraordinary in the everyday and realizing that happiness lies, in fact, in the subtleties that make up each moment. The steps toward change are often enough. But the truth is that the journey to reconnect with ourselves is ongoing, made up of small acts of courage and persistence. The essence of who we are doesn't reveal itself all at once. Rather, it unfolds gradually, like a flame that needs constant nurturing. Life, with its demands and distractions, often tries to extinguish this fire, pulling us away from what truly matters. However, by cultivating awareness, We begin to realize that true transformation comes from consistency in simple actions, from repeating those rituals that bring us back to the present moment. Staying present requires attention and care. It's not about avoiding challenges or pretending that chaos doesn't exist, but about finding balance even amid the storms. It's like dancing with the flow of life, knowing that, while we can't control everything, we can choose how we respond and where we place our energy. One of the greatest lessons of this process is recognizing that inner peace isn't something we achieve and hold on to forever. It's like a delicate flower that needs light, water, and space to grow. By dedicating time to ourselves, whether through mindful breathing, moments of gratitude, or emotional expression, we are nurturing this flower, allowing it to bloom even under the harshest conditions. As we continue on this journey, we realize that there's no rush. Each step, no matter how small it may seem, has value. Every time we choose to be present, give attention to what nourishes us, or simply take a deep breath, we are creating a space within where serenity can reside. It's not about changing everything at once, but about patiently building a life that resonates with who we truly are. So, if the world around you tries to pull you away from this connection, remember that it's always possible to return. The path to yourself is always accessible, waiting for you to walk it, not in haste, but with intention. After all, the true purpose isn't to reach a destination, but to appreciate each step of this dance with the now, learning to live with more lightness, truth, and gratitude. The journey back to ourselves doesn't always follow a straight path. It is marked by ups and downs, moments of clarity, and others of total disorientation. And that is completely natural. This journey requires persistence, patience, and above all, a gentle gaze towards oneself. It is about recognizing that even when progress seems slow or imperceptible, every small step is an achievement. Each moment dedicated to self-care, every breath filled with gratitude, each act of kindness builds a foundation of peace and purpose within us. When we understand that the spiritual path is not about perfection, but about full presence, a weight is lifted. We are not here to be flawless all the time, but to learn from our experiences, to embrace all parts of ourselves, even the imperfections, the failures, the pains, and the uncertainties. These often rejected parts are essential to our growth. They form the foundation that allows us to create a true, solid, and genuine life. As we continue our journey, we begin to notice subtle transformations. Life, which once seemed monotonous and dull, starts to reveal itself differently. Details previously unnoticed gain significance. The gentle breeze that caresses the face, the scent of rain after a storm, the glow of the stars on a quiet night. It's as if the soul, once asleep, has finally awakened, ready to savor every moment with a renewed outlook and rediscovered purpose. At this point, it is impossible not to notice how much we've changed, even though the world around us seems unchanged. Our responses, perceptions, and presence are now different. What once troubled us now transforms into valuable lessons. What once weakened us now gives us strength. And as we look back to the beginning of this journey, we see that the emptiness we feared no longer holds the same power over us. For all those walking this path, it is essential to remember that every step, no matter how small it seems, is part of this transformation process. Even when the world tries to pull us back to old patterns, we know there is something greater guiding us toward the truth. A truth that silently reassures us that we are not alone and that despite the challenges, the journey is the path to the peace we so desire. So keep going. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Each moment of presence is a seed planted, a promise that life still has much to offer. By looking inward and recognizing that we are already complete, that we already possess everything we need to live with purpose and fulfillment, this spark of reconnection will continue to guide us. Walk with your essence, without rushing, but with a calm determination, knowing that every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to yourself. I sincerely thank you for taking the time to watch this content. If it resonated with you in any way, I kindly ask that you like, share, and comment below. Your feedback is extremely important and helps spread this message to more people. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, take a moment to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any future content. Let's continue this journey together. Thank you so much, and until next time.